Chapter 2. Cultivation of Crops. What cultivation means? Early humans were hunters and food gatherers. They used to wander from one place to another for food and shelter. They used to hunt animals and eat their raw flesh. After some time, they discovered how to grow food grains like wheat and rice and became a producer. In this way, agriculture was born. The term agriculture is derived from two Latin words, ager, which means field, and culture, which means cultivation. Thus, agriculture stands for the cultivation of the field. Various stages of cultivation. The land where plants are cultivated is known as a field. All crops cannot be grown everywhere and all the time. They are grown according to climate, nature of soil, and availability of water. If we visit a field during different seasons, we will see farmers doing various activities. Let us know more about these. Preparation of soil. Preparation of soil is important for all types of cultivation. Plowing. The first step of cultivation is known as plowing. The process of loosening and turning the soil is called plowing. It can be done with an iron or wooden plow. In olden days, animals were used to pull the plows in small fields. Nowadays, plowing is also done by tractors. Plowing loosens the soil, which allows water to pass through roots and they are able to penetrate deeper. It helps in the growth of microorganisms and worms in the soil and maintains the fertility of the soil. It uproots unwanted plants called weeds. Leveling. After plowing, the leveling of the soil is done with the help of a leveler. It helps to prevent soil erosion. It also helps in distributing water uniformly. Sowing of seeds. After preparing soil, the seeds are put in the furrows. This is called sowing seeds. The seeds sown must be healthy and of good quality. Sowing of seeds is done in crops like wheat, maize, bajra, and mustard. However, in some crops, parts like stems are used. Examples: sugarcane and potato. The seeds of certain crops are first sown in nurseries. Later, the seedlings are transferred to the fields. This process of transferring seedlings to fields for growth, development, and production is called transplantation. The crops of rice, tomatoes, chilies, etc. are grown by the transplantation method. There are two other methods of sowing seeds. By hands. This is a very common method of sowing seed. In this method, the seeds are scattered in the fields by hands. This method has some disadvantages. The distribution of seeds is not uniform. They fall in clusters at just one place. Seeds do not get into the right depth and birds pick them up. By seed drill. This is called a modern method of sowing seeds. A seed drill has a funnel-shaped opening followed by long tubes. These tubes are attached to the plow. Seeds are put into the funnel. As the plow makes furrows in the soil, the seeds are deposited at the equal intervals and at correct depth in the soil by the drill. This method is better than sowing seeds by hands. Nowadays, tractor-driven seed drills are commonly used. Uses of manures and fertilizers. Manures and fertilizers are added to make the soil rich in nutrients. Plants use these nutrients for their growth. Manure is made from the dung of farm animals. Fertilizers are chemical compounds manufactured in factories. They are very rich in minerals. Irrigation. After these steps, the crops need proper amount of water. The process of watering plants in the fields is called irrigation. It can be done through canals, wells, and tube wells. It should be done properly. Both excess and scarcity of water destroy the crops. Irrigation can be done by various methods. Weeding. Once the seeds start growing, many unwanted plants also grow along with the crops. These are called weeds. They also use water, nutrients of soil and sunlight along with the main crops. They restrict the growth of the main crop. They must be removed. The process of removing weeds is called weeding. These can be removed by hands and using tools like trowels and harrows. Nowadays, some chemicals called weedicides are also used by the farmers to destroy weeds. Crops protection. Crops are also the food of other animals and insects. Therefore, they must be protected from them. Let us know about two methods of crops protection. Protection from pests. Pesticides and insecticides are sprayed by farmers to kill pests and other insects which are harmful for crops. Farmers put up scarecrows in the fields to scare away birds. Protection from diseases. Before sowing, the seeds are soaked in fungicides and antibiotics. Farmers spray fungicides and pesticides on the standing crops. Harvesting. Once the crop becomes mature and ripe, it needs to be cut. This process of cutting mature and ripe crops is called harvesting. It is done either by sickles or machines called harvesters. Threshing. Once harvested, the grains are threshed. The process of separating grains from the harvested crop is called threshing. In small fields, threshing is done by animals such as bullocks and camels. In large fields, it is done by a machine called thresher. Winnowing. After threshing, the husk is separated from the grains by wind. The threshed grains are made to fall down on the ground from a certain height. The seeds, being heavier, fall down on the ground directly. Using the husk, which is light enough, flows away with the wind and falls separately. This process is called winnowing. Storage of grains. After winnowing, the grains are first dried completely in the sun. Then they are put in gunny bags and sent to godowns. It should be dry, cool place protected from rats, birds and harmful insects. FCI, Food Corporation of India, has large number of godowns across India to keep the crops safe. It is a government agency. Quick recall. The word agriculture means cultivation of field. The different activities for producing grains are preparation of soil, sowing of seeds, use of manure and fertilizers, irrigation, weeding, crop protection, harvesting, threshing, winnowing and storage of grains. FCI, Food Corporation of India, is a government